Welcome to another episode of Creators Outlet, brought to you by our friends over at the Inked Marketing Team.
Well, hello.
Hi there.
Do you know who that is? Nat says hello. Hi, and welcome to the show.
Welcome, Nat.
I'm going to show this off quickly because I'm going to close the program because I don't want it to sound too robotic because it takes a lot of juice. But here's showing...
Sim was awake. We were just busy bullshitting before we launched the show. And
yeah.
we'd still be talking, backstage and whatever if you hadn't piped in with late.
We were talking about board games and stuff like that, so we just got carried away a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a model that I'm one of the first model I'm going to be 3D printing. While I work on this, where's the quick save? Boom. Well, I'm working on the full body right there. So let's close this. So now
good.
We're back to 2D. And here's a little spoiler from Luani in Tales from the Nightverse 2, where she calls her bike for backup.
Man, yes. I need a bike like that.
Because she's facing this. And if you look at those, right? They're pretty beef, right?
Man, I'm crippled. I'd be fucking running.
Look at her size compared to her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She stands up. She's like just about to the kneecaps.
maybe about like here. Yeah.
Somebody has to say
the
it.
Solar plexus.
The right height.
And that's going to be Bart. That's going to be in Tales from the Nightverse 2.
Those. I like the way you split up the screen and added like those extra panels by her like hair tendrils there. That was cool.
Yeah. And I made it look a bit like there were eyes, and then you go back to her, and then you see the bike coming. And find out more about her and her motorcycle. Because trust me, you're going to love it.
It's going to be cool.
Mm-hmm. And you have her here with the Nat's bike.
Nice.
And here's a glimpse for you guys of Not the Merc 1 cover. The actual miniseries, Not the Merc. So you get a final look of what the final version of Luani looks like. You have Bob in the back, showing off his extra arms that comes out of his back.
Oh, yeah.
You have Nat in all his glory. Zed there, hovering. And you have a big robot in the back. Figure it out. I'm not hinting more. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Read it for yourself.
I'll just say that the wings look familiar, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough teasers.
Okay.
Now, if you want, I can show you anything you want to see from the Tales from the Nightverse 1. And how you doing, Will? It's fun being on your show.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
My first time here.
Oh, welcome. Yeah, I'm going through a list. I go, wow, there's people I talk to like every month on, at CromCon, and I'm like, I still haven't gotten him on my show for some reason.
I know. Like when I saw Joker fan, hey, want to come to my show? I'm like, who's Joker fan? Then I noticed you, and like you were saying, you commenting in the channel, like, oh, that's him.
Hey, it's Varian. Literally track Syndros digitally because he's actually responsible for the Great Canadian Graphite Shortage of 2002. He has been barred from buying more than one pack a month, which he easily kills.
Freaking A. That is funny. You ain't wrong.
Speaking of killing, Varian, after having our mutual friend on last night talking about the big book from
You're talking about Indie Revolt?
Indie Volt Revolt. How many pages have you gotten done on Trista's story yet?
On what? On Tales from the Netherverse or them?
No, not you. Varian.
Yep. Okay.
I told Randy every time I saw Varian, I was gonna poke and prod and be like, dude, have you started on those pages yet?
Ooh. He has pages to do?
He has pages to do. He is drawing a story, and Indie Princess is writing the story.
So what you're trying to say, Will, is a little bit less poking and more grinding?
Pretty much, yeah. You're gonna be sleeping in a chair and on the couch quite a bit to get those pages done on time, Get to work, man.
Like Mike said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah, I'm pretty big, and yeah, when I fall, it's a big thud.
See, everything behind him used to be a hook to the ceiling. The big thud brought everything down.
Yeah. Well, I got the 20-foot ceilings. Hey, Hex Allen again.
Hail X.
Hail Hex. Yeah, Hex showed up last night. He was listening and watching Randy and I.
Yeah.
Hot sugar.
I watched it, but later. I watched it on the replay.
Cool.
Because, fun fact that a lot of people don't know, I do have 4 kids. 2 of mine and 2 that, I adopted in a way. They're like mine.
I fed them and they kept coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened.
Dude, I had 2 boys and now I also have 2 girls. I'm a happy little parent.
And you make comics and now toys. So, what could be better, dude?
And animation.
Yeah. Hello, chat from Hex Allen, and hail everyone from It's Sugar. Hot sugar.
Check this out. Here's a little something I released last week, but I think Friday or Saturday. This is Not the Merc was created in 2009, about when I was in college, and I wanted to do so. In 2009 I was releasing Wolf Dragon. And one of the first advice that was given to me is make sure to create characters that you can cover everything you love. And I was working on my sci-fi because I'm a big sci-fi geek. I love sci-fi movies. I love heavy metal, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with Not the Merc. And the first story I ever wrote was called Planet 69, as you can see here.
Mm-hmm. I'm having flashbacks to my college days. I'm like, yeah, this all makes perfect sense to me.
So the entire project was at the end of the school, the program in college, right? We had there was no I forgot how you call it, but in French it's called stage. It's when you go work for free for a company to earn your creds.
Oh, interning.
Yeah, you go interning and that's your last type of course that you have, and that your evaluation makes it if you make it or not. So back then there was they didn't have any, so I came up with my own, and I came up with a proposal, and it was accepted by our university, and we did a simulation of a small animation production. So what we agreed on is we were going to produce a trailer of Not the Merc. So we had an actual award-winning producer coming on and stuff like that, and we just never made it, because the idea was to make it to the point of the animation, but never make it to the animation. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
We made it. Everything was made. It didn't get animated, but I always wanted to make it as a comic book. But when I was approached by Zidara, he wanted me to do something just about shorter, not a 20-pager, and so I did the first story that you find in Tales of the Night Verse 1. That's then the first story that came out. Well, this story, I'm redoing the entire thing, but for Tales of the Night Verse 2. So I'm actually working on the original story, which this is the only thing I have left. I don't have the script. I don't have all the layouts and anything, because my computer crashed and I lost everything except this and all the 3D models. So I shared that the other day. So let's just watch it. I just changed the music because I did not want to have copyrights. It was actually required for a dream. Remember the song from the movie?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Requiem for a Dream. So here you go. Let me know. I think I put it. Yeah, it's on. That's just a little extra because, presentation.
Yeah, that ending was badass.
That little animation.
Yeah. Hex says you have no interest in sci-fi. You're just into sparkly vampires.
Nah, actually, the vampire thing was really out of. It was me trying to do something different.
And Varian said, big smile.
My first comic book was actually something called The Wolf Dragon. And what it's all about, it's the pitch was all is the last dragon born in human form, raised and trained by an immortal knight of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Dedicated to keep the balance on Earth.
Hex says he has to do a Zed fan art.
Yep. And here's the entire, this is one of the first promotional pieces that we had that was painted and then later on colored by Inkspot.
Nice.
Way better than the colors I did.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, a remastered version.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome. And that's going to be the interior front cover and the credit page.
Nice.
And what else can I show you quickly? That's not on the campaign. Oh. It's censored. Don't worry.
I'm just like, hello. Then I see the bloody sword. Yeah, no. I'll just say hi from over here.
Okay, so you might prefer her then.
Yeah.
Those are the two sexy prints you get on the campaign too.
Yeah, I'll just, grab hold of those ponytails so I don't fall off.
There you go. Showed you a little few things that are new there. As hey, my first time on your channel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I always like breaking news. Now, if I just had, some good animations to play before we had the breaking news that were quick, but hence I don't know how to make any of those yet. I definitely don't have any programs, so
yeah, dude. One, I would like to be able to have the time, and like there's so many I would like to do, to be honest. Like I'd like to have like a full I would like to be able to, when I get to Not the Merc, the campaign for actually Not the Merc the series, I would like to have a fully short animated intro like an anime series. But I don't know if I'm gonna have time, so I'm not making promises. But this is what I've been trying. So you've seen one of the first animated that was there. Another one I did is you see the ship zooming in, and he just jumps out, and he lands doing a flip on the ground. Like I wanted to I would like to, but like you saw right now, I bought a 3D printer. Gonna be doing my own toys.
Well, I was talking about that with Randy last night, not the 3D printing and toys, but the fact that, I wish days were 48 hours instead of 24, because that way I might have enough time to read some of these millions of stacks of comics I have all over my house.
Why? Why don't you have 24 hours in a day?
I do, but I don't. That's still not enough time.
I know.
It's
like somebody's like, "Don't you sleep?" I'm like, "What's sleep?"
Somebody asked me that last night. I go, "Yeah." I said, "When do you sleep?" I go, "On weekends that don't have CromCon in them." I pretty much sleep like the majority of the weekend. I wake up to use the bathroom and to get at least 2 meals in, and like half of my meds, and I just I'm like, oh, let me put this back on again. And crash out again, or I'll be like, I'll feel like nice and wide awake. I'll get like 2 pages into a book, and I'll wake up like 4 hours later with the book on my lap. Oh man, what the hell page was I on?
I mean, it's one of the things that's been happening to me sometimes when I get really into working mode, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I'm too tired to work, right? I'm gonna read a story.
Yeah, I've gone through because I got my collection back, and it was like it filled a 22-foot long trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So about a month ago, you couldn't have seen behind me. It was nothing but boxes like 6 feet high, 8 feet, mm-hmm. From the wall out like 8 feet. And you can actually see like the mess I'm making with all my comics.
Damn.
And there's twice as many boxes, but they're piled up on an opposite wall over by the kitchen. Because I'm going through seeing, what's where. Hey, John. What's happening with you? And I'm going through, and this is all to find the copy that I know I have of West Coast Avengers 45 to hurry up and sell it before the spec market clears on it. And I know exactly what's going to happen. The very last box I look in is where it will be. I already know. But I'm finding lots of other stuff, and I was thrilled to find out that my hundreds of Star Wars Dark Horse books are worth ridiculous amounts of money now. Just about to take a shower and stop being lazy for the day. Never stop being lazy. You got to set a standard, you know?
It's called highly performing laziness.
Exactly. So tell us exactly what's going on with Natverse and what's going on with a new campaign.
What do you mean new campaign?
Well, you're working on issue 2 now, so
okay.
You're getting prepped for a new campaign in a few months, I hope.
Yep, I'm getting prepped. Actually, there's 2 campaigns that are being planned because I'm people were asking for a fully colored or a black and red edition of Blood Hunt.
Oh, cool.
But I got Tales from the Adverse 2 in the works for a campaign soon, and I also have Inkslayer, the magazine that's going to be 120 something pages. So it's going to be 5 20-page stories, right? That's going to be in 3 issues of Inkslayer, making all the stories 60-pager. So it's like mixing heavy metal magazine. And remember those big books that you used to buy, like the super packs, and you would buy like a DC one, and you have 5 issues of DC.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a collection of like one of the Marvel Comics Presents.
A bit, yeah.
Where it's got like the multi stories, but you're doing it like in a bigger format.
Yeah. So it's all IPs. They're not going to be in a shared universe or nothing. But the thing is, the entire crew of Inkslayer are working on the comics. So I'm laying out when I'm going to be doing the pencils. Scotsman's going to be inks on one. So we're all like doing the full production team.
That's cool. So it's going to be a big anthology. And how often is the Inkslayer magazine going to be coming out?
We want to do probably 3 in 1 year, or in in a year and a half.
Okay, and then you're looking at getting 2 issues out this year of Natverse.
Yep. Right now. I'm waiting for the colors to come in, because we're all getting to know it. It's a new team, right? And we've all been we never worked together, and we all have other contracts and other things to do. So we're all learning to mix and match and work and balance stuff out. So and I also added 10 pages, and 20. The old stuff of Nat is getting recolored, so that's why we're a bit delayed. Because instead of printing and fulfilling this month, it's going to be going in April.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm planning. The original plan was to launch the campaign for Tales from the Adverse 2 in May, which is my birthday month. And I wanted to have the 3rd one done by the end of the year. So when I start next year, you have Nat the Merc. And in Inkslayer, you're also going to have a standalone story of Nat and Luani, and maybe even one of Luani herself. So all this year, it's not the Natverse galore. Like, I'm into this for like 2 years. I'm gonna have other things coming out too, like the Blood Hunt Duck Salem crossover that's happening, written by Brown Kreisgau. That's gonna be penciled by me and finished art by Preston. We're mixing our style like Greg Capullo and Tom McFarlane would.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of stuff coming. That's always going like, which campaign?
Which one? What do you mean, which one? Well, I have 37 books, and Hex Allen wants me to draw sparkly vampires for some stupid reason.
I know, right? But for people that don't really know, the idea for Tales from the Adverse, it's an anthology series, and it's to build up. It's like a world building experience where I'm introducing new characters into the universe. So when we get to the Nat the Merc series, I circumvented all those. It's like Marvel had years to build up their backup stories and everything. So I'm doing that in 3 issues of Tales from the Adverse, standalone stories, and then Nat the Merc starts. So when Nat the Merc starts, we are gonna follow Nat the Merc and discover his genesis. Like you're gonna have caught up to what he knows, what's been in his past. You're gonna know from his childhood, his friendship with Zed, and all of what's going on. So that's why I'm doing it that way. It's kind of like a world building experience, and then I start the series.
Cool.
Because it's one of the things that I didn't want to do. Like, hey, let's start a story. And 5 months ago, I have to go back and tell you an entire story, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do that before set you up the entire story. You get to know Nat doing his job in the universe, then you really get to know Nat, right? And Tales of Never is gonna continue after that, because Tales of Never is also an ongoing series, but that's gonna be the my fan mail type of thing. This is where you go and Nat Demerk and you go, dude, I really like that guy you killed. Can we know more about him? Yeah, Tales of the Netverse.
And back, that's the same thing Dark Horse did with Star Wars. The aforementioned evil empire there,
Mm.
where they when Dark Horse had the license, they turned around and they started up the Tales. They did the Tales of the Jedi early on when they first launched.
Then it was Tale of the Bounty Hunters, if I remember.
Yep. And then they did one that was like a big fat book, Tales, Star Wars Tales or something like that. But it was almost a prestige issue, like 48, at least 48 pages and of story, and
yeah,
and it was just like kind of like one shot deals, taking characters that weren't being used that much, that were probably like background characters or something.
Yeah, but that was a bit of the inspiration behind, because when I got approached by Zero 9, which was like a French Canadian, like from Quebec City actually, that was doing a type of like heavy metal collection of comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
All in black and white. And he approached me, wanted to have Wolf Dragon. I'm like, dude, you're doing sci-fi. I'm not gonna put Wolf Dragon in there. So I decided to put Nat Demerk. And I'm like, what can I do that's interesting? And just putting short story of 6 to 10, maybe 16 pages in a freaking book every 4 months. What can I do that's interesting? Right? Instead of just doing throwaway characters. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the idea popped to mind. Like, whoa. What if I give you like one story of Nat? You want to know more about Nat? You know more about Nat in the second one. Then after that, you think you're going to expect Nat? No, I'm throwing you Rose. But then you realize that you're still in the same universe. But then the book got canceled when I was about to put Luani. So this is me getting a chance of doing that all over again. And dude, I'm ecstatic. I'm having a lot of freaking fun. And I have the greatest freaking team on it. I have Scotsman. I have Beacon doing his best work I've ever freaking seen. And you have Inkspot. Dude, doing interior presentation. Like the interior back cover, the interior front cover, and that freaking nice little poster that I showed you last time, the fully painted one. If you go in a campaign, you see it in the updates. I penciled it, and he painted the hell out of it, and it looks like a mix of Bisley and Frazetta.
Oh, you mean this thing?
Nope. Go in the updates.
Click updates. Oh, there's only 28 updates. What the hell?
Yeah, I keep my backers informed. That was the trailer.
There's the trailer, new colored page sample.
Go down. You have the giveaway, because people, some of my backers will be getting an original page from the 2013.
Nice. See more updates.
I think that's the one there.
First inked cover of Natverse.
Yeah. Go down.
Wow, enough said. Final variant for number
There you
2.
go. That's the one.
Oh, yeah, this one.
So that's the variant cover for Tales of Natverse 2. But it's also a mini print that you get, like comic book side cardstock that you're getting with the book.
That's badass.
I love it. Dude, I geeked out when I started seeing like just the ship in the back with the planet. Like that little detail in that back there. Top right, under the E there. So beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have that printed as a huge poster in my studio. And you can be expecting a cover for each IP of Inkslayer painted by him.
Nice.
Oh, we're going all out in Inkslayer, dude. It's we're pre-in levels. We're putting everything like our manga, anime, American comic, European comic, everything influence in there. We're trying to bring you the best quality we could do as if we were doing the heavy metal magazine.
Yeah, I loved Heavy Metal Magazine like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Might have something to do with boobs, but I still love Heavy Metal Magazine.
Oh, dude, it's the fact that you had stories that weren't always that were surprising, that that took a freaking twist sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I just got mad, because every once in a while you'd get an issue that, every story in there was, to be continued. And like, this is worse than reading a comic.
Yep. And
Now
then
I
you
have
were hoping that you
have
didn't
five
miss it.
heavy metal stories, and I'm hoping I'm not gonna, I'm hoping that my LCS gets their ordering, because if they don't, I have to go from like, store
Magazine
to
store to magazine store.
yeah, I have to go from like, store to store, like the pharmacy stores and all like those little things like that, to and then I gotta, kind of like, I'm like 6'3", so I would have had to, like, basically get down and crawl on the floor to look through all the magazines until I found like a heavy metal. Shut up, tablet. It's just crazy.
And what I would like to do also, it's when you're gonna be backing the Inkslayer book, we're thinking of having one mini sculpted by me for each IP at the same time for one of those special tiers.
For each IP.
Yeah.
And
So you're gonna have a Metal Mayhem Rock Boy. You're gonna have a Nat one. You're gonna have like a Hero. You're gonna have the dwarf with the jetpack with a rocket powered axe. Oh, those nice little things. This is Inkslayer Entertainment.
The dwarf with the axe. Oh, look, it's Pops.
If you haven't heard it, go check Michael Beacon's book called Seven Legions.
Mm-hmm.
It's in demand now on Indiegogo, and he fulfilled right away. Like the next day, he ships it. It's a great book, and that's where the dwarfs comes from. And in Inkslayer, you're gonna have the dwarf story. It's a 60-pager split in 320s.
Cool.
And it's gonna be sick, dude. That look, you're talking about a dwarf that has a jetpack, rocket-powered axe, right? A really bad attitude, and he has a Viking-looking mech fighting big monsters. That's gonna be great. And he likes his woman tall. He likes to climb. Great guy. Can't wait. I'm enjoying it.
I like him tall too, because I'm crippled. Some days my knees are so bad I can't
Dude,
I can't stand to get stuff off the top shelf.
I like a challenge, and on horizontal we're all the same height.
Mm-hmm. There's just more land to cover.
Exactly.
And no sparkly vampires.
Nope, I don't like those. Vincent killed them. I don't know if you know anything about Vincent. If you backed it, you got a print with it. And one of the first promo piece was him killing Edward and what's her name, in a really dark alley.
I don't know. Somebody gave me, they gave me a bunch of like books because they know I like to read.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the hospital for like Christmas, and one of the books they gave me was Twilight, and I took it in and I put it in the back of the toilet. Like, why do you keep leaving this in the bathroom? I go, in case I run out of toilet paper.
Because it's where it fucking belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no. Like I'm not a huge vampire and stuff fan. But I love a good vampire story. You know, like if you tell me which one I prefer, I'll probably say a werewolf. But a good
Mhm.
vampire story is cool, and I wanted to do something that hasn't been done yet.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a huge Vampirella fan, and I love Dark Shadows. So
I'm trying to look for the there. No, that's not it. Bingo.
did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It's right here.
Okay.
Just clicked on it. Clicked on it already.
I
There you go.
did.
So you see Edward dead, his heart's ripped out, and you see Bella dead there too, drain of her blood.
Job well done.
Well, that was for the shirt. Trying to see a lower resolution. There you go. You see it better.
Nice.
That was done in 2018 when I started promoting Blood Hunt. And that was me trying to pull a bit more of my, going a bit more anime-ish style.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why a lot of people, when I went back to my regular-ish style, people were like, "Oh, you upgraded." I'm like, I like to switch up.
Yeah, it's just what I normally do. But I just made it like this for something else, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the cover. That's not the final colors though. Hold on. There you go. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's badass. What happened? I don't know.
He's cleaning up. Because like one of the main pitch of Bloodhunt is, I'm not selling you a hero or a good guy. He's a monster for hire. You're talking about the guy that wants to be the most badass assassin in the fucking world. He wants to be known as the Reaper, and he ends up being betrayed, sent to his death, turned into a vampire, and he embraces it. This is not a redemption story. This is a vengeance story. This is payback.
Easily described as the anti-Blade.
Yep.
I like it.
And now you're getting a crossover with Bloodhunt and Doc Salem. And dude, we were talking about it, and I said this out loud, and we all said it has to happen. I'm like, dude, I got a monster for hire, and you got a monster for I know. I got a monster for hire. You got a monster hunter. It just writes its fucking self. Brian's like, yes, it does. Like they're made to hate each other. It's like we have our own Batman versus Superman type of thing, but with a new version of Dracula and a new version of Frankenstein. Which I'm like, I think we got something here.
Oh, for sure. That's just
And,
an awesome idea.
and from the first draft I read from Brian, holy crap, it's gonna be fun. Hey, there's deep ones. Do I need to say more?
Deep Thoughts, starring Sim.
Like, oh, dude, I'm gonna put some deep ones in there. I'm like, holy crap, yes.
Mm-hmm. We got here. Oh, thank you, Sugar, for subbing to my channel. I can use every sub I can get because.
So you got a sugar rush?
Yeah, I did. My cousin hates it when if he watches one of my episodes and he sees that because he's gay. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. You're a good looking dude. That's that many more women. I don't have to worry about somebody else cock blocking me. I kind of do that to myself. I take the mask off and they see my actual face and like,
oh, your mask is off?
Mm-hmm. Yep. My mask is off.
I hadn't noticed.
Thought we were getting interviewed by Monster Hunt today. Nope. Just a Monster hockey fan.
You know what? Do you want me to show you the first 5 pages of Luani?
Sure.
Boom. I can show you the 5 pages of Luani. Boom. That's page 1.
Nice.
You have people getting prosecuted for being traitors to the Federation, for dealing with pirates and Xenos, because they don't really like other aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a witness transfer. That guy there.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the police, they're trying to transfer in the Federation police. They get attacked. You see missiles, people starting getting shot, and then you see somebody getting stabbed there out of nowhere. And then you see somebody decloaking in front of the witness eyes. I thought that was a cool move.
That's fucking rad.
And then,
holy shit! And run.
as you see, he gets his face sliced off.
Ooh.
These are the those 3 first pages are the pages I did in 2018, 18. Yeah, when I was doing 19 when I was doing the campaign of Blood Hunt.
Nice.
So you have here. So he runs away. She's still following. You see, still shots. Random people getting shot. He runs towards the sky cab. He goes, let's get out of here. He goes, whoa, relax, guy. Get shot in the thing. Okay, what the fuck? Gets out of there. And he sees the flying cab. Yeah. So she's at the edge there. She gets surrounded, and she's like, you're like, what's gonna happen?
She's gonna kill everybody.
And she's like there, and she doesn't give 2 fucks. She's ignoring them while they're yelling
Jumps
at her.
off the edge. Holy shit.
Then here you're gonna see she's gonna calculate all the distance. It's gonna be done in color.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just leaps off. And then you got page 5, where you see her going down. And then you see, my wings to a lot of my inspirations: Armitage, Gundam, Immortal, 2000 AD, Heavy Metal, Meta Baron.
Nice.
Wings to some of my friends' books, like they were movies. Here you see, who's that? I don't know. Looks like a vampire. And who's this? Who's the poor son of a bitch getting kicked off a hovering bike?
Sugar!
And she steals his bike.
And the chase is on.
Yeah, and these are the first 5 pages of Luani for Tales in Adverse 2.
And who's gonna be coloring that one?
I'll be announcing.
You'll be announcing.
Yeah,
it's a special announcement.
It's either Beacon. I think it's either Beacon or Scotsman. I think. It depends. We're all gonna figure it out when we get there.
It's the best way, go by, how everything's going, and
Yeah, but the idea with the book is in Tales and Adverse, anything that has to do with Nat is colored by Scots, because he's gonna be the color. He's supposed to be the colorist for Nat Denmark. So that's how I made it. You understand what I mean? So that's why.
Yeah. So when anything directly related to Nat, Scotsman colors. So those various books will have the same look.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes perfect sense. And that way, if people get that book and Nat makes an appearance and does like a little something, but it's not, he's more of a secondary character in that book, and it's about a different character. They'll still know that it's connected. Well, this looks like the Nat book.
Like it's kind of a way of letting you know that this is the current story. The other ones are figure out when. because it's the Tales from the Nightverse are not linear. Like it's not a linear storytelling. Like you're gonna figure out like there's one story that's before not Tales from the Nightverse. The Battle Royale one, the Royal Rumble one, happens during the miniseries. So there's a point where Nat's gonna go. I have to go talk to Elrica, and he's gonna walk in at the end of that short story in Tales from the Nightverse one.
Cool.
That's what I'm working with. So you understand what I mean when I say I'm trying to circumvent those 40 years Marvel and DC had to build up their characters before they really, broke out. to have that baggage, that background story, build that universe. So when you start the Merc, there's pirates, there's federations, all the threats that are known there, and then you're gonna discover there's some new ones, because that's when it kicks into high gear, into more of a Warhammerish.
Yeah, the first outing with Nat is the pilot of the series, and you figure out from clues, and people always say, "Well, that's the Federation," and
yeah,
this is that, and
so when you get in the Merc, you're gonna know everything. Yeah,
it sets everything up, and then builds upon those base blocks as time goes on, and does like a few different things.
Mm-hmm. So I decided, a good way of saying it is I decided to treat those short story like they were actually series. Like, there you go. I did a series of Rose. I did this, building it. So now when I do not the Merc, I can hint at them, and the readers will go, "Oh yeah, I remember this."
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, I have no way of playing with that if I cannot build up something.
And is there going to be a big tier, not just for the figures that you're planning on doing, but like a catch-up tier for people that haven't read any of these books yet?
Mm-hmm. But right now in Tales from the Adverse 1, right, you have that book, and what I want is every time that I try to overprint a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I also have another cover.
Another cover.
Yeah,
have we seen the other cover?
I showed it to you not too long ago.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
The Wani on Nat's bike.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
That's going to be a variant cover of #1 for for the campaign of Tales from Adverse 2, because I do want to keep that collectability of the first campaign.
Mm-hmm.
The original cover, like what I like to do is I like to come in when I do a campaign. I like to have one cover that will never be reprinted, other than that campaign. I had one with Blood Hunt, and the first cover that I had there was the exclusive one.
Mm-hmm.
And which was a wink to a previous book that I did called the Artisan. That was something I did in 2016.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the same with the other one. There's going to be a cover that's never going to be reprinted. Like right now, the cover that's the final cover that's staying with the book is the cover that's colored by Scottman, the one that's on the campaign right now. That's the decisive cover for not the Tales from Adverse 1. The other ones are all limited and exclusive. And when I mean exclusive, I don't overprint them. I print maybe 10 issues more just in case.
In case there's a damage.
Yeah, a loss or a damage. Yeah.
I overprint a few extra, and I do mean a few, just in case they diamond my shipment.
I have only, I think, 3 copies left of this. Hold on. Do I have my camera on? Let me hook it up. Don't mind me, guys. I did not do my beauty time. On cam. Boom. This was the variant cover for Blood Hunt. That never getting reprinted.
Nice.
It was a nice little wraparound cover.
Cover, black, white, and red.
And I put a whole bunch of people that were promoting Bloodhound, a whole bunch that I had to say thank you for, So it's never getting reprinted, and that's all there is. I got like 2 or 3 left. And just to show people how badass Vincent can be.
Oh, there's a lot of dead bodies.
Dude, it's a bloody mayhem from page 1 to 80.
Wow.
And one thing I
can do that too.
I try not to have any books. I try to keep my books at 60 plus page. Because to me, I think it's a bang for your buck type of thing. Because when I was checking my the market, I'm like, you have comics 20 page, and they're 20 page, but you have 12 to 16 pages of comics in there now. You have the European market, you have the manga market. I'm like, how can we need it in between? Where can me as a fan feel like buying a book for 25, 30 bucks? I get my money's worth. And I'm like, well, if you give them a miniseries of three floppies, that's where I'm at. That's why my idea's always been, if I buy you a book, you're getting a self-contained story because I'm giving you a miniseries of 3 issues.
Yeah. If I'm going to spend $20 on a book, I want a nice fat book with a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
And
the more money we make on our campaigns, the more stuff I can put in it, though. So that's why my books, and I end up going from 64 to something now 80 page.
Yeah, I think Revolt is up to, I think, like 140 pages.
Mm-hmm.
There are only a handful from adding like an extra 10 pages.
In Inkslayer, we discussed adding like maybe a 10-page swimsuit special at the end too. Like I have on my Tales on an Adverse. If I reach 15, I do a 10-page swimsuit special of an Adverse. That's gonna be on every campaign.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
And to me, it's like the Nadverse is like one of the perfect, IPs to do a swimsuit special. He lives in a fucking universe with multiple galaxies, so there's all type of fucking planets you can put him on for an awkward vacation or something.
Like your own version of the heavy metal swimsuit edition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's killer.
Hey, he was grabbing a beer on planet I don't know what, right? With Rose, and out of nowhere, a worm came out, and they were on the Doom planet.
Oh.
With the big sandworms and shit. The
spice must flow.
Where the fuck are we? I even thought of doing an Alf one, because I'm a big fan of Alf when I was a kid.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like you see Alf in the first page of Nat and Zed. He's drunk. He's drunk after a hard night there, and he has a box of cat chow. And it's like a Chinese restaurant box.
I like kitty litter. It stays crunchy in milk. Pulling lines from Ren and Stimpy from 30 years ago.
Oh, dude, I grew up watching Alf, dude. I love that thing in the cartoon when they did this him in space, his home world. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I watched all those.
But Zed, the inspiration of Zed, it's Alf mixed with Gizmo, with the colors of Garfield. That's where the idea came from.
It's Gizmo. It's Gizmo and Alf and a splash of lasagna.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's an interesting combination.
That's where Zed came from.
And you must make the wait staff at the Chinese restaurant by you go nuts. Yeah, can you mix this, and this together?
I mean, dude, it's like if I would tell you all the inspiration that went behind that, dude. It's that's why I say it. The best way of saying it's a mix of everything I love, dude. There's some people are like, what, you're making another Lobo. I'm going, nope, it's not Lobo. Trust me.
Nope.
Dude, there's a bit of like Cowboy Bebop in there. There's a bit of Firefly. There's a bit of Metal Baron, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of everything.
So where did the is that hand that we see? Is that neck?
Hmm?
Is Nat's hand like
Yep.
the blue green? That's all neck, right?
Yep. That's his arm. And it's not a cybernetic arm. It's his arm. He was born with it.
Man, must have tore his mother a new one.
And he was born from an experiment. He's a hybrid between an ancient alien DNA and human DNA.
He was born in a lab.
Yep. And that robot that's his dad was sent
Mhm.
was sent to kill him and terminate the experiment, and ended up saving him and becoming his parent, his protector. So Nat was raised by an assassin robot. So he's been a merc all his life. So when you see him as a kid, he's a merc. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun.
That's that whole story right there of the assassin and the
Mm-hmm.
protecting the parent. That's like screaming lone wolf and cub to me.
Never read Lone Wolf and Cub, but I did read the Lone Wolf 20,000, 2100.
Oh yeah, the short series. I actually came across like a handful of those, and I've been finding them. I'll eventually go through and put them all together because they're like all in like different boxes because they came out from Wildstorm. So
But
the Wildstorm subreddit under Image was the adaptation of Ninja Scroll.
hmm but you see, the entire idea behind Bob was I always wanted him to have that robot type of father figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was I wanted to really illustrate with that idea what a stepdad or an adopted father could be. Like you're talking about you're talking about a person that's alone, right? He knows that he needs to live in secret because if people find out about him, they want him dead,
Mm-hmm.
right? So so that's why like one of the links with Rose is like a big sister to him, like a motherly figure, like a big sister, right? And she's like an homage to my mom because Rose was first created as a breast cancer fundraiser character. I was selling prints of her to raise money for breast cancer. And Rose came from my cousin and my great great mother. And Rose was a bit of a punkish tattoo type of girl, my cousin, little badass artist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she was. And I'm like, one day I'll bring her, she'll have a role in that, right? I didn't know what I was going to do with her as much. But my mom got diagnosed with cancer and she had 5 months to live. So that in that moment, my mom was a big fan of pirates. She got me to watch all those fucking pirate movies as a kid, right? And she a huge fan of freaking dolphins, like crazy. So the thing I did is in 2 weeks I came up with the story. I decided to name her Elena Rose after my mom,
Cool.
and she became like the big sister of Nat. And the comic was done, printed, and right before she like a few weeks before she passed. So you know when they say stories and sometimes fiction imitates life, like I did
Yeah.
not. It was no intention, but that's what I would. You know what I mean? Same thing happened with the father. I named the guy Bob. Who would have known that it would end up being my stepdad? I had a stepdad called Bob.
Art imitates life.
right?
Yeah.
But
It's easier to write certain things when you're pulling them from, your own personal experiences and just, putting a twist on them.
hmm but yeah, that's the. And I don't want to give you spoilers, but it's a bit more complicated than a robot just deciding to become a dad. It has to do with Nat's arm.
And there's a big story behind that. So
Oh, it's in Tales from the Adverse one. You get part of his origin story.
part of it, because it continues as the books go on.
Yep, because that's like I'm telling you. In Tales from the Adverse, I'm giving you what they know a bit, and after that, when you get to Nat the Merc, it's where you start discovering more with him. You follow him through the adventure more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Tales from the Adverse, you're a spectator in the universe. You're watching a series or something of the Naverse type of thing, and not the Merc. Well, you're following him, and now he's gonna find out what he is, what that is, and everything you can do, because he doesn't know everything you can do yet. But there's a price to it too.
There's a price to pay, and
Mm-hmm.
he's going to find it.
Mm-hmm. Like there's a reason why he needs to be in action all the time.
Because if he's not, you'll find out when you read the book.
Yep, pretty much. I've been very vague about that arm. And I'll leave it at that.
I've been vague about the arm accidentally on purpose.
Yeah, I give examples of what it could be. Like, one of the closest thing you can compare it to could be maybe like maybe an ancient living nanotechnology type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it is that I can say. It's a fourth dimension alloy. Nothing,
Hmm.
nothing, nothing can read it. Nothing can recognize it in the universe.
So if Nat goes through some kind of scanner, it shows him minus an arm.
Yep, pretty much. And the energy it produces is not traceable.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I've put a lot of work into the Nadverse. I'm telling you, like I've been working on him since 2009. It's one of my babies. Him and Wolf Dragon are my babies. Not Vincent, Wolf Dragon, and Nat. Those are the babies I've put together. They're like my love story to everything I love about anything fantasy, sci-fi, supernatural. Like Wolf Dragon is highly grounded in my love for the Arthurian legends, Knights of the Round Table, mixed with Shakespearean. Like remember Gargoyles?
Oh yeah.
Remember that what they did in that universe, where everything mythic legends, even Shakespearean stories were real.
Mm-hmm.
That's Wolf Dragon's world.
Cool. I like that one already.
And in that one, you have Wolf Dragon, the last dragon born in human form, right? And you also have Demona. So those are the two characters coming out with that IP that I'm planning on coming back in 2022.
Keeping busy.
Mm-hmm. And Demona is a demon babe, and she's badass as fuck. She's the protector of everything. She's the protector of our realm, you could say. A mix of you could say Lady Death and Doctor Fate, you could say.
Ooh, that's a bit of power.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like when she was working for the Demon King, she was called the Dragoness. She was his top warrior until she freed herself
And is now defender of the realm.
in our realm. Yep. Those are my two babies, and I, as much as like I wanted to do everything at the same time. Steve, my editor, and my friend, and all my friends have been sim. Concentrate on Tales and the Navers, then do World Dragon. I want to do everything at the same time, like you're
Yeah, I
saying.
know.
I wish I had like 60 hours a day, and I
See,
drew like I
we're
wish I
back
could
to
draw.
that conversation again.
I wish I had the flash powers, or at least Superman speed.
Hmm. Which is just about the same thing. But
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I
Like I told Randy, I go with everything else I do during the day. Not including my old man naps. Uh, I need like probably like another 12 hours a day, so I can at least dig a few chapters out of a prose novel I'm reading, or get like a dozen or so comics on the on the on the on the book poop stack, as Daphne Lange likes to call them, book poops. Those stacks of comics and novels that you've gotten stacked up everywhere, all around your house. And yeah, I do. I have probably like 60 book poop stacks, most of which are attributed to the fact that all my bookshelves are inside my local comic shop. And he got hit with a flood in his back room, so he's got to clear everything out and
ooh,
do a bunch of stuff. I don't need all of them back because he's got five of mine. I'm like, but I could use probably two of them right now. I go, you can do like one of the, do one, and then the following month do another one. I can stagger it out like that, but I need at least one. I got no place to put my stuff. I got
yeah, you
I
got a
got
lot of room, just not a lot of room to put your stuff there.
I had to repack uh probably like a couple of hundred books back into boxes and shove them underneath a 6 foot long table I have with toys all over it in the kitchen. And I'm just like, oh, need bookshelves. Need lots of bookshelves. I got a little folding table next to my I've got an actual end table on one side that has 4 stacks of books on it that just keep getting higher every day. I've got another table that's got stacks of books, like a small little folding table that's got stacks of the books on the other side. I don't need that little folding table. I need like a 4 foot bookcase there, because that way I can just pile all my book poops
Dude,
there and just pull stuff out as I need it to read and stuff.
don't look at my mess, but this is behind my computer. This is like my big hard places. All right, I have a whole bunch of books. Alien, Alien there. You have shelf there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Two shelves full, and there my closet. That's all fulfillment, and on top, all books. And Firefly game and Arkham and a whole bunch of board games that I like.
Oh, cool. Yeah, mine you can't really see too much. Well, you can see the big mess behind me, so it's like,
Oh, what's that figurine there?
oh well, this one is a little Joker,
Mm-hmm.
and on top of that, I have my minty fresh copy of ENIAC, and this is a glow in the dark Spectre.
Huh. Glow in the dark.
And then I have some original artwork. I have a Joker pencil sketch from Ken Hunt that used to work at DC.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a Gimli.
Yeah, he's pretty good with his stuff. And then I have Alex Cormanch, who did this really badass one for me at the last Batman Day I attended back in 2015. Before I decided in 2016 that I was going to just jump head first into a coma and chill out for a couple months.
That one reminds me of, I remember this series called The Batman.
Yeah.
Everything was very squarish, and the Joker had a crazy vest.
Oh.
You have Charlotte Lukowski that just joined us.
Oh, hey, Cheryl. What's up? Yeah, it's a friend of mine down in Texas.
Me this morning, I had this coming in. Doomfate.
Oh, nice. Let's blow that one up.
Oh. Yeah, my passion for drawing that came in today.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3 books to look forward to this year.
You got 2 more Tales in an Adverse. You're gonna have Inkslayer. I'm doing the last 8 pages of Outlaw Nights right now. Another book that's on Indiegogo. That was the artist left the project for some reasons. I'm not gonna get into it. It's not mine, but I'm stepping in to make sure that the book gets completed. So I'm gonna be finishing the last 8 pages, and I'll be joined in with Beacon doing the colors. So
cool.
Team Inkslayer is coming in to help Ben Fuse to finish his book. And I also have another book that I'm working on that I'm not saying any date because that's when it happens. It's called Hellzone. Has nothing to do with nothing. No other IPs, just a standalone.
Just like some standalone story that.
The only thing I'll say from it is like imagine mixing Doom. If we made a Doom guy a Doom babe, and we made a sci-fi story that's a bit inspired by Event Horizon.
So D&D meets Event Horizon.
Yep.
Very interesting.
It's just a little something that one of my friends pitched the idea. And and he goes, I want you to finish writing it. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But it's something I'll put on the side. Just a fun little project. And I'm using a more sketchy, more Bisley-ish type of finish. So it's just a fun, side project that I got. Hold on. Maybe I could show you a little something.
A little something?
A little something. Let me go back. My comic books. Hellzone. Here's the first cover I did for it. As you can see, it's a more gritty look.
Oh yeah, that's cool though.
It's a fun little side project, and I wanted to go back to that more gritty style because I like to experiment with my rendering. And I always like those gritty-ish 2000 AD Bisley, Well, this is me doing that anyway.
Yeah, she's got a BFG.
The big,
Big effing gun.
Yep, and this is what we did because we thought it would be cool to have a chrome cover like this.
Oh, that came out awesome.
Right? No, not much color, just chromium and,
That's pretty badass.
And, here's a wink. Concept art of the monsters you'll see in there.
Cool.
I got at least 3 to 4 books coming this year. By the end of the year.
That's a lot.
About 2 or 3 for from me and the big Insular project.
Well, your books are actually like the size, like one book is the size of 3 modern books. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can multiply every. I have a book. Okay, so you have the equivalence of 3
3.
books.
Yep.
Well, I've got 4 books by the end of the year. Okay, that's 12.
Yeah. And right now, like the Blood Hunt one was 80 page, so that's 4 comics.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with that one, it's 80 page.
Yeah, I got I'm like I always live in the past because I like history,
Mm-hmm.
and I especially love the history of comics. Probably why Thomas and I do that show on Thursday nights called OK Boomer, where we just go back and look at like old books. This week we're diving into some Howard the Duck. First appearance of Kiss in comics. But the comic book price war is like killing me. I'm like, well, the paper's much better, and we could do this. I go, I'd rather have the newsprint and pay 35 cents. Okay, Boomer, whatever. Yeah, whatever yourself. Shut up. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that I think is I was gonna say stupid, but ignorant would be the best way of saying it. From certain people going, well, Marvel's selling their books $3. I'm like, Marvel prints 20,000 copies of each fucking book. They pay 25 cents each. We pay $5 our copies,
Mm-hmm.
and that's if we print a lot. Because some of mine cost $9 in the beginning. When you start calculating for like 100 or backers, and then the more you go, the less it costs you. But it's like, dude, get me to the point where I can be like Marvel, and you'll be paying my book way cheaper.
Yeah. But those two morons just go up and up and up. They just,
Now they're $6 now. All the mainstream DC and stuff like that, they're selling their floppies at $6. I'm like,
no,
and
no,
people are complaining about us.
They went up. They went up again.
Yeah, $6. That's what I saw. They went up to $6 now for a floppy.
I saw more. Like I saw like $8.
The only one I bought at $8 because I don't buy comics that come out. I just bought the Last Ronin. That's the only one I saw like $8.99, and that's because it's giant. It's bigger than a comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I bought like the 3rd print of #1.
I bought the 3rd print on #1. I bought the director's cut because I was late on it, but I bought the director's cut on #1. Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought that that one because I wanted to check it out because I don't really read the Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I of course know who all the Turtles are, and
But you have to admit
most of the villains. And I used to watch the cartoon, but
you have to admit that when you heard that for the first time after 30 fucking years, plus more than 30 fucking years, the 2 original creators got together again to create the final story, you're like, motherfucker, I'm showing up. Just don't disappoint. Please don't disappoint. Don't go SJW on us.
The house, yeah, I know, right? The house where Mirage Studios was in the beginning is only like a half hour away from me. So I'm like, I've actually driven by it on the highway and be like, and the sign's still up, like was up on the back of the house like 10 years ago when I drove by there.
The funny thing with
wow.
The funny thing with Ninja Turtles with me is I was part of the generation where we didn't get the comics as much here, right? So I kind of like discovered them with the after they did the deal, right? The cartoon you had the more child friendly turtles. That's the one I got to know. I did see once in a while the images of Kevin Eastman, but you You're a fan of turtles when you're a kid. Then you grow up. You're like, yeah, they're okay. Then I found out. Then I discovered the actual original series, and I read it. This is what made me a turtle fan. It's not this. It's not the real. It's not the animated series as per se. It's the goddamn original comics of it. The
The
freaking
original,
metalhead, the
the
metalhead
volume, yeah,
Ninja Turtles.
the
Yeah,
volume one, black and whites, and completely badass stuff.
yeah. They were metalheads. They were freaking awesome. I'm like, dude, why the fuck did they cut them? like, like I understand it. It was a freaking smart move to do because you
Hi,
do have,
Jesse.
you know, you can make a more a more like all age friendly of a IP. Like I could do the same with that, right? If somebody
Mhm.
wanted to do a more child oriented version, yeah, yeah, you can do it. But I'll still do the not that I do. I'm not gonna change it.
Mm-hmm. It's still, you want to cut me a check for, a few $100,000 to turn my character into a child-friendly cartoon? Knock yourself out,
Give it a go.
and go ahead. But I get it. I get royalties of everything,
Yep.
and I get comps of everything. How many comps? I get 50 comps. When you go to make toys, I get 50 comps of every figure.
But that's when I found out that they split up really early. When they signed up the deal for Ninja Turtles, the series, that's when they split up, and that's when it makes sense why they stopped. Because at first, I was like, why did they stop? Yeah,
Because the TV did this to our characters.
yeah. But I don't know if it's the official real reason, but I think the reason why they really split us because one wanted to sell and one didn't.
Hmm. And then one turned around and bought
Heavy metal.
our favorite magazine. Yes,
Yeah, and married one of the hottest babes, and
Julie. Yeah.
dude,
Oh,
dude, when she was one of the first actors to have each leg insured for $1 million because she was 6'1" and gorgeous.
hmm.
Like when you say somebody's worth the climb, she was worth the climb.
Oh yeah. Going through my boxes, I found probably like a dozen different Julie Strain books already.
Mm-hmm.
One hardcover and a bunch of prestige ones. Julie and Friends, and just like her modeling up like the Vampirella stuff.
Here's one of my favorite pieces that I have here that I got a while back. I have the original heavy metal issue,
Oh, nice
but they made a hardcover one.
hardcover.
Okay, it's limited.
Oh yeah.
This is who we're talking about. And she got painted by so many amazing artists. And see, you have the limited edition number right there.
Oh yeah.
And if you're a fan of it, go get it because they still have some available on the heavy metal website. And this is Kevin Eastman writing and Simon Bisley, the original story and script of the Fact 2 movie. That was a bit blended out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's one of my favorite books.
I'll have to hit up Frank Forte. Dude, when you pack up all your vampire books to send to me, and
Can you try and get that for me too?
yeah, grab that from the office, will you?
Yeah, try and get some. They still have some available on the heavy metal website, so maybe you could get one from your LCS.
Oh yeah, if they got them, I'll definitely get one of the hardcovers
Oh, it's totally fucking worth it, dude.
because oh man.
Like, yeah, especially if you're a fan like I was of the two animated movies of heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having the actual original script of Fact 2, because all the design and all the storyboards were made by Bisley, so that you have the original, yeah, doing the comic, and it's freaking awesome.
Friggin' Jesse James from Jesse James Comics, just because he buys like multiple collections every day.
Mm-hmm.
He posted up the other day, somebody in a collection that he bought had the original pitch scripts for close to a dozen episodes of the original run of Star Trek.
Oh shit.
So, I'm sure he'll be selling those, starting probably around $200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's just crazy. But all this stuff is very cool. You got a lot of good stuff going on and happening, and
But I'm pretty. I gotta say, I count myself lucky that we finally reached a place, and I would say entertainment, but I would say I'll say comics to be precise. I'd say in the comic fanhood. Now, right now, people are interested in more than just Batman, Superman, Wolverine, and all of that crap. Like before, you would go to a con and try and pitch your idea of a comic, and people would pretty much just yeah. Do you have any Batman?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not where we're at anymore. You actually have people looking out for more IPs, more stories, right? And I think those moments only happen a few times.
Yeah, well, they're
it happened.
They're
at
up
Marvel.
They're up there looking for different stuff because
it happened at Marvel when Kirby walked in a fucking closing down Marvel Comics. Walked in there while Stan Lee was depressed because they were all losing. They were taking everything out, and then they came up with their freaking last idea to do what they did, and Marvel came. Same happened with Heavy Metal Magazine, formerly known as Metal Hurlant. It was a bunch of fucking French artists that got fed up of being told, no, be PC, be that, and they went, you know what? Fuck you, we're gonna rock this shit. And they made Metal Hurlant, which made them famous around the world. That they're all the ones that were the designers of Star Wars, Aliens, and all those. It was Mobius, it was all those guys. Like Philippe Druyet, check him out. He's the actual designer of the entire Darth Vader, the Death Star, the Stormtroopers. He's an European comic book artist. And then there was Image, when a whole bunch of creators decided, we're enough of getting your stupid shit, we're doing our own. And it's always the same thing when the company becomes stagnant, when they're just starting to do all the same shit over and over again, and they abuse their creators. They don't pay them. What happens? A new comic book revolution happens. And this is where we are. It's a pop culture.
It's exactly where we are. I mean, DC gets taken over by AT&T. They move all their stuff to HBO. And, we finally get the Snyder cut, but they're like, well, this is all you're getting. He's not coming back we're not going to let him come back and do anything else. Why? Because Marvel stole all of his script.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like the same, 8 to 10 stories over and over again. And Marvel and DC both reboot. They're like, oh, it's not a reboot. Well, what would you call it when you cancel a series and start the series back up at a number one a month later because you have all your quote unquote superstar artists and writers, that think they don't just want to take over a character. They want their own series of that character. The ego on Donny Cates, which is why I always hashtag I hates the Cates. Like all the blind people, Venom's great. I go, yeah, he's an all right character, but he's not like all you're making him up to be. It's like you all love Venom because you were like kids in the 90s when Venom was, a good character. Now he's just a character.
Yeah. But that's what I liked about the movie. It took me a long time to watch the Venom movie.
Mhm.
But when I watched it, the thing I did like about it is that they went the violent way. Remember that series? What was it? Violent Protector or Lethal Protector?
Lethal Protector, yeah.
Yeah, when that was his first solo miniseries, and he
Mhm.
was not a good guy, and that's where he would eat people's head.
Yeah.
Dude, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact they took the Spider-Man aspect from it.
Mhm.
Like, they could have just put like a little footage of Spider-Man in a black suit from a recording, and that would have been it. Seriously, that's all they needed to do.
Mhm.
To be right. Oh, what's this? Oh, that crashed a long time ago. Then it fell on Spider-Man for a few times, and now we have it in our lab. And that would have been like the all the setup you actually needed. You didn't even have to have Spider-Man in.
Mhm.
Just him swinging in a black costume. We already had that by Sony too. So how hard could it have been to just put an old footage of Tobey Maguire in a black suit just swinging?
No, I mean, it's easy. It's easy as hell.
Hmm.
I mean,
But that takes storytelling, I guess.
yeah, you know, I'm just like their favorite thing to do is they'll turn, especially Marvel. DC does it too, but Marvel is well known for starting a series all over with a big name creative team on it. They release the number one, and they let slip that it's a key issue outside of just being a number one. But it's a huge issue. It's 48 pages or 60 pages, whatever, 80. Uh, but it's $12. But it's got an art germ cover. But that one is exclusive to this store in this town in the middle of the Southwest. Oh, great. How much is that cover from that store? Well, you can't just buy the Virgin variant. You have to buy both the trade
But
dress and the Virgin variant, and
remember, you
that's
had
two
to buy
hundred
five
dollars.
copies. You had to buy 5 copies to get that one copy because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that's one of the things I like to bring up, and that's not to diss on LCS. It's more Diamond played their game into ruining the market, but the greed of LCS owners was the second one, where they knew a title would be good. They had those variant covers or something like that, and instead of putting in there for their fans like it was supposed to, same price. They would come up and sell them at $50, $25, and that kind of killed the collectability out of it. I think that
Well, that's
we're in a readjustment.
yeah,
The comic book industry is changing. Yeah.
yeah, that's a double-edged sword too,
Hmm.
because you'll have people that you've never seen in your life walk into your shop, and they're just hey, do you have blah blah with the cover by blah blah?
Hmm.
Yeah, right there. And then they grab the whole stack and walk up
Hmm.
and be like, oh, no, 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 no. You can have one.
Yep.
Now, I see, like, because my shop does this. They don't order like the variants unless somebody wants them, and then it's like it's not worth them doing it because it's like if they have to spend an extra $100 on an
Hmm.
order, they're like, okay, well, this is what you have to do.
But do we understand that if Diamond didn't abuse the LCS with the pricing, they wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be that shrewd to make money?
Yeah.
And in the end, like they would keep, like, let's just say Batman number one comes out and it's a very iconic thing. They order like 100 copies. They'll put 10 on the freaking shelf and wait later to put the other ones more expensive. There was a lot of freaking things like that. And to me, it's not like, oh, no. Like I said, they weren't making that much money. You make choices. You do this, you do that, right? Making them demand and whatever. But the thing is, for a while, it was the fans paying the price for the shit. And now
Yeah,
and now
because
you also have the CDC. Was it the CDC thing where you have the comic grading thing?
CGC, yeah.
Yeah, out of nowhere they announce everybody that all your collectibles, all your fucking thing that are assigned are worth nothing unless they go there, and you pay a big amount of money to get them certified. So
Hmm.
that also didn't help the collectability and the collection, the this and the that from
And
people.
it doesn't help that they can't grade anything actually worth grading
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's sending in every single book they get every week. They go. The biggest thing that has ruined the collectability of comics is just like it was in the '90s, the spec market.
Yep.
All these shows telling you what to buy, giving the top 10 lists of the the best sellers on eBay this week,
And
and
everybody fell into the model that everything needs to be a number one every year.
mhm. They do those, and then you have the double-edged sword of a certain app that will tell you, if you're, what
Technically, it's like
buy
the
that book.
scalper. It's like
Yeah,
the scalper thing, right?
yeah, it is a scalper thing.
Yeah.
It's like in one way, it's a good app for what it was meant to do, but
Mm-hmm.
now all it's doing is it's leading the industry around by its nose, telling
But look,
people,
right
making
now,
up shit and telling them,
yeah,
what's worth money.
right now, Marvel is giving another big blow. Like I as a collector, I don't mind it in a way, right? That's what I'm saying. Like double-edged swords, right?
Hmm.
Like getting all that Kirby shit, trying to get all those Ward Simonson stuff right now. It's not that easy, and it's pretty expensive, right? So Marvel, DC's pretty much being screwing up the pooch with all their pretty much their mainstream comics, right? Everybody's saying they don't really care. The artist sub level, they're not investing that much. They're paying the artist really low level, right?
Hmm.
But they're investing a whole bunch of freaking money right now into reprinting all of that old stuff. That right now, you're the market of the people, the collectors like you and other people that have very valuable issues, not that valuable anymore because right now you can buy them. And
Yeah,
most people, I'd
because
rather have an
both of them are
omnibus.
doing both of them are doing like the facsimile issues, but I live on I'm disabled, so I live on Social Security, so I don't get crap. You know, I get enough money to buy like a few books a month
Hmm.
to read, but that's about it. I can't afford to go and buy like the first appearance of John Constantine, which is one of my
And that's my
main
point. It's like
main grails. But
for a
they put out
hundred.
the facsimile for like $5 to $10. They reprint that full book with the ads from that time and everything for $5. I'm like, I'll buy that. That way I can read the actual issue.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I'd rather buy my like right now, right there. I have my the Mighty Thor omnibus. I have my the Fort Will omnibus. I have Commandy omnibus. Dude, they cost me 100 and something, maybe 120 to get the entire thing. It would cost me what? That to get 2, 3 issues?
Hmm. Well,
Like,
I over there where you can't see on my windowsill, I've got the red leather special edition Daredevil omnibus.
hmm.
That's all the Frank Miller, Close Johnson stuff. Then I've got the Hulk omnibus one.
Yeah, here's another example. Go and try and grab these issues.
What's that
I,
from?
I have most that's the Claremont Jim Lee Uncanny X-Men run.
Oh yeah,
Silvestri and Jim Lee.
I
I
bought
have a lot.
the.
I have a
I
few of them, but try and get all of those right now. And that costs 150. And trust me, 150 buys you maybe one line of those, one row.
mhm. I've got a few of those.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I recognize a bunch of them, but I haven't come across my actual X-Men boxes yet. But I bought the the X-Men omnibus of the original Age of Apocalypse storyline,
Oh,
which of course has the Legion Quest story at the beginning of that.
which one is that one?
Well, it's the story that leads into Legion Quest leads into the Age of Apocalypse story.
Age of Apocalypse. Got it. Yeah.
Legion caused everything. Boys always
Oh.
starting shit. Oh, damn you. Your original biz.
Mm-hmm. And the other character I was talking about,
Nice.
Wolf Dragon.
That's cool.
The Bisley Nat, that's a print that gets unlocked at 10K on my campaign. Love the Biz.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, a great guy, dude. If you get to meet him, go say hi. Like,
The,
do not be afraid. He's fucking amazing.
oh, no. I covered Rhode Island Comic Con November 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in early, as with my press pass, and because I was, in a wheelchair. I went and I hung out with happy Neil Adams for about 45 minutes. And I went and hung out with Graham Nolan and Bill McKay and Christopher Priestley, Joe Rubenstein.
That is true that Neil Adams used to be happy.
Yeah. Well, he's happy as long as people are dishing out like $50 a whack for his autograph and asking him questions about his favorite subject, him.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah.
But the dude is like a massive legend. So,
dude, he may be a bit of a dick, but dude, we cannot forget that he is the one that all creators need to thank for having the rights of our shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the only motherfuckers to have had the balls and go, it says that I give you all my rights in the back of that check. I am not cashing that check. And played hardball with them and made the fact that Kirby's recognized and all the other creators from Marvel and DC recognize he started this shit.
And he does, all that fundraising with, Heroes Initiative and,
Mm-hmm.
to get, creators.
Medical, yeah.
Yep. All medical and insurance and all that, all that good
Lawyers,
stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Legal aid. Yep.
It's
a great thing.
Who else was there? Tom Mandrake. I got to see that massive original art of the glow in the dark Spectre cover.
Mm.
And there were a bunch of indie guys that I met and hung out with, and also Mike Grell.
Want to hear my funny story with Neil Adams?
Good.
He's a fucking legend, and I met the happy version.
Oh, we both met the happy version.
The last time I met him, it was not the happy version. He looked depressed, like he's sitting there, and all he's saying in his head is, "I want to die."
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's weird. Like, honestly, it's night and day. He used to be like, you used to go see him. He used to be like a beacon of, fun. Like, you used to, not so much anymore. Anyways, so we were all a whole bunch of like creators there, and one of them is a guy that worked for DC, Marvel, and stuff like that. He did the Bitch Planet. His name is Valentine Delendo, and he was a friend of mine. Do all this shit. Yeah. So we were all like at the table, and we're looking at each other. Go, I want to go see Neil Adams. Go get our shit checked, right? So we get an appointment with him. He goes, we're gonna see you at that time, right? So the con close. We're all getting ready to go see him. Fucking Valentine is nervous as fuck. He's the first one to go. Comes back, he's all depressed.
Oh yeah, he rips the fuck out of everybody.
Yes. and I'm like, oh fuck. And I
It's
don't know.
like,
When you
here's a
get to know
knife.
me,
Go slit your wrist this way.
like I'm not inhuman. I do know that little fear of mine, but I do. If you know me, you know that I have that little attitude of like, well, okay, let's go, let's do this.
Mhm.
So I go there and I'm like, hey, now it's my turn. He goes, you sure? Yeah. You know that getting critiqued by me. It's I'm gonna pass you to the meat grinder. I'm like, go right ahead. That's what I'm here for. So he looks at me with a grin, right? As in like, okay, boy. As in like, okay. So he starts opening, and that was my wolf dragon back then. It was not Nat, it was the wolf dragon stuff.
Mhm.
So he opens up and he starts going. Oh, I forgot to tell you. He ripped fucking Valentine Alendro to shreds on the fact that he draws really weird eyes that it's just like there's no expression, there's no this, there's no that, there's. So Valentine was destroyed.
Why do you draw something so soulless?
So he opens the first page, which was just a scene of a girl called Lucretia, a woman called Lucretia, driving a jeep in the desert, right? And it was one of the last pages I added just to. I thought it was more smoothing into the story in the beginning.
Mhm.
So he goes in and he starts ripping like that rock doesn't look like a rock, right? You could work a bit like work more on your details on the background, make them look more okay. Yeah, fair enough, right? And he's looking at me. Let's keep on going. Turns the second page, and that's when he just went, oh, I like those eyes. I like this. Oh, I like it. And then, dude, it was different. I even have a picture with him saying that kid's going somewhere, and I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was so fucking giddy. It was not funny. I go back to my table. Valentine's like, how did it go? I went okay. I, you know,
Decent to work on
let's
my
be a good
backgrounds
let's
in
be a
rock,
good friend.
but
Let's
he
be a good friend.
loved this page.
You love my facial expression. You love yeah.
He said, "I'm really good at drawing eyes." Son of a.
And Bisley told me I was the guy picking up his mental. I'm like, well, dude, that's a fucking honor, bro.
Wow, that's
Then we
huge.
went to grab a beer.
Nice.
Dude, he grabbed my book, and the next day he told me he liked it. I'm like, dude, could you imagine how I was on my drawing table?
Can you just imagine?
Like a 5-year-old kid just discovered that there's water in a puddle. You're like, fuck yes.
Putting a quote from Bisley on the backside of your you know
Uh huh.
trade.
But his favorite was not Nat. His favorite is Wolf Dragon. He loves the Wolf Dragon.
Cool, either one. It's like stop putting up ads. It's like blah 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 blah. Simon Bisley.
Dude, if everything goes well with the next projects that I have, he is in my plan. He knows it. He's doing a cover for Wolf Dragon when I get there.
Oh, that'd be badass.
He even
I,
told
I
even
was
told
all
me that
excited
he'd like.
uh,
Hmm?
the other month. Valiant sent me like a couple of comps, and one of the comps was the Bisley cover of Bloodshot,
Mm.
like 10 or 11 or something. I'm like, but I was like calling. I was like calling the woman that owns the store. I go, you sent me like Valiant books. I didn't order any. He goes, no, you're up. We take care of. We do all the Valiant comps for the whole company now. We're the ones that do it, and you came up on their list, and they wanted to send you. I go, cool. I go, are they going to send me free stuff every month? She's like, I doubt it. I go, oh, okay.
But dude, Valiant, I was never into it until when they relaunched into 2012,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really fucking good until Hillary Clinton and Trump. because they were the first company to take a side and trying to make Hillary as a hero, and they made a story where Trump was a bad guy, and I'm like, dude, I don't care if you like somebody or not, this is fucking wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, all those books with friggin' AOC on the cover.
Mm.
I'm like, fuck off.
Hey, check this out. This is the cover I did for Bloodshot.
Cool, blow that up.
Mm.
Yeah, that's badass.
That was 2016, I think, or 2015.
Nice.
That was a variant cover for Bloodshot Reborn #1, but the French edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently bought because I was into Valiant from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and then it seems any company that I fall in love with their stuff and I stop buying like everything that they do, like their whole universe. Uh, then 10 minutes down the road, you know, they're like, "Yep, we're shutting down everything. This is the end. Bye bye." Like, what the? And all the books that were like, all the keys that were worth, a ton of money are like, basically worthless. Some of them have come back. Like, I've got a couple copies of Rise Zero.
Where the
We're
hell
right,
is everyone?
we're right here. Hey, I tagged you in the post for this earlier. Where the hell were you?
We've been
Getting
doing this for like almost 2 hours already.
Yeah, you got clipped. You get clipped by that walking hassock of a dog you have. What? But I did that with like a few people. I went for the Shooterverse and the Adams verse, and I'm like, oh man, I'm never doing this again. And then Aspen starts releasing Soulfire from Michael Turner, and then they look at me and go,
Who?
Michael Turner.
They're releasing then?
Yeah,
Who's doing it?
there's another artist doing it from Aspen now, but they were like
Really?
they're like re-releasing stuff, and but this was back when Michael Turner was still alive,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started like buying everything, every single issue of Soulfire.
You know, did did you ever hear my story of Michael Turner? He's the reason why I'm doing all this again still.
Golfing since like 9 a.m. Woohoo!
I used to meet Turner in Toronto every year for like 5 years.
Nice.
Like I was going to cons trying to get a job in Marvel, DC, or trying to get picked up at Image or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to be a penciler, right? Inker, penciler, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one that told me, fuck the mainstream. Don't go working for somebody else. They're just going to take advantage of you. Invest yourself in yourself. Find yourself one of your creation that you created a long time ago that will allow you to have fun and play with everything that you ever love. Just create one or two and just invest everything you have in them. And now, and I told him about something called the Everheart Chronicles. It was one of the first comic creation I had when I was 15. He goes, "What's that about?" I'm like, it's about an immortal knight that saved the last dragon, and the last dragon was born in human form, and he raised him, and he's nicknamed the Wolf Dragon. He was the last Wolf Dragon. He was from the north, and he looked at me. And he goes, "The name of the guy's Wolf Dragon, and you name your goddamn book, your book like the Everheart Chronicles." Yeah, okay. The title's Wolf Dragon. You're going up in your room, and you're gonna draw me a three page for tomorrow in
Wow.
layouts, and that's how it started. Yeah. So that's how I got my Wolf Dragon. I got back on Wolf Dragon. I got back in actually back into writing stuff. Yeah. Thanks to freaking Michael Turner. The last time I met him, dude, and every time I say it, I get shivers. Okay, I went to meet him the last time because he was fighting cancer. For people that don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and I show up over there, and there's a big announcement that his appearance is canceled because he's sick. He fell sick again, and it was the announcement of his return to drawing comics. And you know what that means. You know where I'm going with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a message on my phone by his partner. I forgot his name, Mario, something like that. And he goes, "Mike will see you. Meet us at the table. He wants to see you before leaving." So I meet him up, dude. And he's coming up, and dude, he was pale as, you know what I mean? Walking with his crutches. Sat down, gave me my last freaking review, and that's the last time I met the guy because he passed away not too long after.
Wow.
That guy reminds me of fucking Queen, Freddie Mercury. That's why in my head it's always the same fucking thing. The show must go on, dude.
That's
Yeah, that guy has fucking cojones, okay? And took time to freaking build up people. Another one was that has a similar story with him. It's Joe Ball. That guy took time to build up people. Look up to the guy. Great guy.
build people up instead of
Mm-hmm.
telling them they can't draw eyes.
Yep.
But as it turns out, he can't draw eyes. Uh,
Yeah, I'll never forget him, and that's one of the reasons why if people got blunt and you say most of my books would always have dedication in it, and Turner's always going to be in there, always.
that's cool. That's very cool. Oh man, I don't know where to go now. That story is like hold on, I'm going to tell you this story, and then I'm going to hit you in the face with a brick
But dude, he built up some of the biggest artists there is, without even doing much.
without even thinking about it. Just
No, just being himself, dude.
you know,
Being open and being there for people.
go do this, and then come back and see me.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I went up in my room and I spent the entire night up, dude. I still have one or two of those pages here.
Stayed up all night. When you going to go to sleep? I can't.
Nope.
Like Michael Turner told me to draw 3 pages. I gave up.
Pretty
But I have
much.
3 pages drawn.
Pretty much, dude. I was sitting at my table and I had a big coffee, and that's all I was doing until the morning. And dude, I didn't sleep. When I wake up to the table, he looks at me. He goes, "Dude, you look half dead. I didn't sleep." He goes, "You laid out 3 pages. I have 5." Dude,
Wow.
I'll never forget the first time I met him, dude. I Everybody shows up there with a freaking portfolio, clean cut, as if they were going for a job interview. Me, it was a moment. It was after like a year or two of me going, "I'm not. I quit," type of thing. And I just showed up there out of nowhere as everybody telling me you should go get a babysitter, and I head up over there
Mm-hmm.
with a fucking regular file, like paper file, dude, holder. Everybody has their big portfolio. I'm just there with a fucking bunch of fucking paper. They're all ruined. Like nobody, you know what I mean? Like sketch papers. And Turner says, it looks at my thing. You see his face. I said, "What the fuck am I getting into?" And he opens it, and you see his face drop. He calls everybody there, and that's how it started, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how I started working on Wolf Dragon. This is over 10 years later.
That's crazy.
Well,
That's cool. That's cool, crazy, and sad and depressing all at the same time.
I don't see it as depressing because I was raised not. not mourning people, but celebrating their life.
Mm-hmm.
That guy made more than just comics. He inspired a whole bunch of creators. You know, I I don't want nobody to forget him.
Oh yeah, I can't. I got boxes of comics from him.
Hmm Like
I mean,
Soulfire was amazing, and it was so great to see Joe Benitez come in when he passed away to finish it off.
oh yeah, Soulfire, uh, that
Fathom.
Fathom, that run he did doing the Justice League covers.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I've
Or
got,
that or
I've
that
got,
Batman v Superman run was amazing.
yeah, I've got two different sets of covers from that run that he did. And they're, one's cover A and one's cover B, but he basically did like a big poster and they shrunk it down. They put half on one on
Hmm
cover A and half on cover B. And one of them was like all the hero, issue 12 was like all the heroes, and issue 10 was like, all the villains. And I'm like, oh man, I just want to take those. I want to take those issues out and like, you know, put them in like an extra wide frame and just toss them up on the wall, and I can keep like swapping them out or whatever. But yeah, it was just his work was just insane.
hmm Like what I really liked about him is that he had the same approach that I had. Like he had a very we're not just comic book fans, we're movie fans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that a lot of people tell me about it, and that's what I liked about him is we have a very cinematographic way of bringing of storytelling. We're not trying to do a novel here that with illustration. We're telling you a story, a visual story. So we're trying to pull the some tricks from the movies and the comics. Establishing shots, money shots. Some have to be larger than life. Some have to be regular, different. I don't know.
Money shots. I think I downloaded the wrong movie again.
Don't tell me you got rim shot.
Oh no. All the wrong movies I downloaded with women. So here's a question now that he's finally done golfing and hanging out in the chat.
Hmm
Uh, you going to CromCon this weekend?
Oh, yes, I am. Hold on a second. Here's some sketch cards. So for people that think that I only do digital, not true.
Real straight up.
Hmm
Old
So
school.
yeah, I'm at CrowdCon on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern or 3:30. One of them, and we're doing the Simply Sugar and Pops on Friday at 8. Sugar is only going to be there from 8 to 10 because he has to work at 10. But
Mhm.
Simply Sugar and Pops.
Yeah, I've got a show at 8 on Friday night, so I'll probably pop in later, and uh, I gotta talk to the old man later because my daughter might be here this weekend, which means
Ooh.
I won't be able to hang out for the those 12-hour stints.
Let's say, how old is she? Because maybe she can participate.
Oh no, she hates all this stuff.
Oh.
Like if she's like looking at her favorite YouTubers and she comes across my channel and you know I'm on, then she'll run downstairs and make fun of me to like all her half brothers and sisters. And
It's because she doesn't have the balls to do it herself.
oh no, she'll do it.
I'm kidding.
She's like she has no mute button. 100% disrespectful, rotten little teenager.
Yeah, but is she streaming?
No, she won't.
That's what I meant. She
She's
doesn't.
she's like 100% emo. She will not take. She's got a hoodie for every day of the week. And she got the big hood that comes down over in front, and she won't take it off. If you knock on her door,
Let me guess. She's between 13 and 15.
yep.
Does it show that I got experience?
She's actually just 12 right now. She's gonna be 13 in June,
Yeah.
so a couple months away. She's gonna be a teenager. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, my little Hannah's getting there too. She's getting into those, need to control her hormones.
Oh, I'm like,
But she's a great kid.
he's like, Dad, what would you do if I brought a boyfriend over? I go, I would send you to the nunnery, and I would probably kill the kid.
You know what we do? You know what we tell the girls? Me and my bro. Remember the story of the monster box? Well, we have a monster bag.
I don't remember.
You're not
story.
getting it.
No, I don't remember that story.
What do you do with monsters?
You kill them.
You put them in a box. You kill them and you put them in a box. You get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have, because you used to tell, because one of the stories you used to tell the kids when they were afraid of a monster under their bed is like, it's okay, we got a monster bag, we'll put them in the bag. So that's what we're doing. Like, what about what happens if we bring a boyfriend at home? Remember the stories of the monster bag? Same thing apply.
Mm-hmm.
I have my katana and he has his long sword. We're all good.
I used to. I got my longbow and like 3 full quivers in my closet. So, and I'm in a wheelchair and that works out perfectly because I would just turn like this, and if worse comes to worse, this elbow can operate the joystick on my chair and just make me swivel and turn.
Doop, 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 doop. Like a turret.
He goes, "How fast can you load that?" Want to find out? I remember the skit. The daughter brings home boyfriend to meet the parents.
Mm.
Father's got a shotgun shell in his hand. Tosses it at him. The kid catches it. Goes, "What's this?" He goes, "They come faster after 9 o'clock."
You want to know one of the funny jokes I did to my kids? Because we do that thing with the girls, right? So one of my boy had a girlfriend. She shows up at home. I walk out with a knife. Like we're doing we treat everybody equally here. Don't fuck with my kid. It's like, you start punching my boy, you deal with me.
It's like, don't mistake my me being disabled for anything, because I'll go right up to you, sitting down in a chair and just take you out.
Don't take my politeness and kindness for weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Do not mistake it.
100%. I'm just like, oh. I remember because my cousin's husband, they have 2 daughters. One's like 6 months older than my daughter, and then the older one is like 15. And so she's like already dating some boy from her high school and everything. So on his birthday, I sent him a picture of this on his wall. I put up this picture of this shirt that says, "Guns don't kill people. People with beautiful daughters kill people."
Yep.
Like, just remember that, because
Dude, if there's one thing that history has taught us, right? The worst thing that ever happened in history, it's either for religion or for the love of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That
and making the mistake of bringing a knife to a gunfight.
The most stupidest thing a man have ever done in history has been because of that, either for religious or love.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of our favorite expressions at one of the bars, we're throwing people out, and they're all drunk and fighting back at you, and we'd be like, dude, don't make me shoot you with my knife. And they would get like, because they're drunk, so they get like wicked confused, not being able to figure that out. And half the time they would walk away. The other half they would just get knocked the hell out. And me, I would just if I get drunk, I would just start fights, and I wouldn't know I started fights. There'd be like a mob behind me, and I'm just walking the other way, clueless, and all my friends would have to jump back. What happened? What do you mean what happened? He goes, well, we'll tell you later. We'll tell you tomorrow. I'm like, all right. I see. You want to hear what happened last night? You go, I was home in bed. What? No.
I have one of my friends that's Irish. Do I need to say more?
Nope, because I'm Irish.
Mm-hmm. So every time we would go out, I don't go out with that guy anymore. The day I had to face 3 6 feet big black guy bouncer at a strip club because of his fucking sorry leprechaun ass. I'm like, we're done.
Yeah, I'm Scotch Irish, so
yeah, I have Scots blood in me, and I in my family we have we have some Irish, but it's new to the family, like my great aunt type of thing. But like that's why I'm used to it. So I have one of my friends that's every time he gets drunk, dude. If we're at home, he's gonna try and pick a fight with me. I can deal with that. A friendly little banter, put you back in your place, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with that. But somewhere else, when you have to deal with other people, like I'm telling you, dude, seeing 3 giant fucking 6 feet something football player size, like remember, I'm stocky, right? But I am 5'8", 5'9", in between 5'8", 5'9". So having 262 coming out, holding your little buddy by the trousers, going, you fucked up, and coming like.
I did that, and man, I DJ'd at those clubs for like 30 years. I did that when we went to a different club with some friends, and one of my friends' little brothers, who was on furlough from the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, when I get drunk, I always pick on the smallest guy. For whatever reason, not the smallest, but the shortest.
Yeah, no.
So
trust me, I had to live with that too, because it's a common trait in some people.
So we're walking out, and we had a good time. I had way too good a time, and my friend's little brother comes up behind me and goes, "You okay?" Apparently, I had fallen down 3 times. I go, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" Goes, I don't know. You just fell down like 30 stairs. Then what happened? Goes, then you got up and walked to the bar and got another drink. Oh, okay. It was all fun. And I put my arm around him, put him in a headlock, and just started giving him one of these. He pushed me off, and he right across the upper bridge of the nose. Rushed some oxygen to my head. Bunch of tears out of my eyes. He goes, "Don't ever do that again." And that one shot, basically sobered me up, got me out of that fog. And I'm like, "Ooh." He goes, "Yeah, I gave you a shot to the upper bridge of your nose. It's a nerve cluster."
Dude, but like I'm telling you, you can imagine. I have like a Scots blood, and you have my friend that's Irish, right? So imagine that first time that he had a drink with me, got drunk. We both drunk, and he starts trying to take a fight with me. Dude. He still remembers it to this day. He goes, all I remember was seeing floor, ground, floor, ground, floor, ground, floor, ground, floor, ground. Fuck, I'm on my ass. He grabbed his arm, goes, what you gonna do? And I grabbed his arm and I flipped him. Now every time he picks a fight, that would happen. I'm like, remember what happened last time, bro? He just calms the fuck down. It's automatic. You'll never forget that moment.
You want to go back there, do that again? No. Okay. Just remember.
Hmm. Dude, that's how I was able to calm the situation the last time I was telling you about. Because the guy's come out and he's fucking aggressive as fuck. So I had to get up and put my foot down, right? And I look at the guy. What the fuck did that retard do again? And as soon as I said that, the big guys went, "Okay, that one's cool." That's like, what did that retard do again? What did that little leprechaun? Anyways, that got resolved. But yeah,
Real quick.
yeah. Like I told you, he knows now when I get when I'm like enough is enough. He just shuts the fuck up. But dude, the guy billed himself a bill of like $300 with the stripper in the private dance section.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So you get how they came out
Mm-hmm.
to my table.
Did he pull his pants up first?
Yeah. I don't go out often.
I can't imagine why.
Like
Oh,
last
man.
night, like I think like 2 years ago before the COVID thing. He's like, "Hey Sim, I'm coming in town. Do you want to go out?" Nope. Come on. No. It won't happen. You say that every fucking time.
Mhm.
Grab something, come here.
It won't happen. And then 30 seconds in the door, you're out and back. And by
Yeah.
the time you come out, I got to knock you out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, go back Telson and others.
Exactly.
See all the funny stuff I lived in my life.
Back tails of an adverse, or Sim's gonna come to your house and knock you out like a drunk Irishman.
Dude, you just reminded me of this shit. You see all this fucking Kevin Smith thing? He's crying about everything, how he's such a soy boy, crying about everything. Everything makes him cry. Blah, blah, blah. I used to love that guy, right? Did you ever see the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the entire premise of the fucking thing? A bunch of fucking internet nerds. They were ripping at them, shredding them, and then they decide to invest all the money they made from there to go visit each and every one of them and beat their sorry ass. How many people want to kick some ass? Remember? And now he's a big crybaby.
Yep. Now he's a soy boy little pussy.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Don't worry, I won't kick your ass if you don't back my book, but you will definitely kick your own ass if you miss out.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of big things coming.
Mm-hmm.
And why would you want to miss out on a chance to get that cover?
And not just that, is that you're getting that as a print right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the fact that for $25 until April 2nd, if you're one of the first 200 physical book backer, for $25 you get not only but plus shipping, you get an 80-page book, you get 2 prints plus 3 stickers. When we reach 7,500, there's 3 more stickers, so you get the full set of 6 characters. At 10K, we unlock the Simon Bisley and the Joe Ball print. So for $25, you get a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the entry point.
Now, is this even the right campaign that I have up here?
Yep. That's Delson and Adverse one. Yep. Right now you're
just open as the store, right?
Yep. Because originally we thought we were gonna be able to fulfill in February. Because we the thing that happened is I decided to recolor the first two stories because the color compared to the new one was shit, and I'm like, I don't want to have a book with low level colors. I wanted
Mhm.
everything to match. Like I'm not gonna redraw them, but at least it's getting recolored, right? So we were thinking of being able to fulfill in the end of February in March, but because I also added 10 pages, so now we're gonna go. We're planning to have everything fulfilled because the thing is, I had a lot of people saying that there was more old stuff than new stuff in there.
Mhm.
So I balanced it out. It's half and half now. So you get 30 something page of old stuff and 40 page of new stuff. So I wanted to make sure that everything's so it's in demand. So in April 2nd, I'm closing the extra sketch card for free because you also get a sketch card for free when you're one of the 201st physical book backers. So you're technically getting,
Nice.
this is my way of saying thank you to everybody jumping in from the get go. I do that. I did that with Bloodhound. I'm doing that with that one too. And we're looking to go to print in April and starting fulfilling. I'm just waiting on the colors. And as you saw, dude, the colors, they're taking time, but they're taking their time coloring it. And it shows.
Mhm. Yeah, it looks. Those other pages I saw looked like fantastic. So I'm like,
If you go on the main campaign page, because right now you're in the updates.
oh yeah.
If you go in the story, you'll see the colors of Beacon on Royal Rumble, which are pretty sick.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
That's my colors.
Oh, so we want some good colors.
Yeah.
Whoops.
This is what you get for $25, and this is the final cover of the actual book. This is what it's always going to be. That's what an adverse one, and that was inked and colored by Scotsman. This is interior presentation, and then you get the beacon colors.
Mhm. Yeah, because this is the ink spot stuff.
Yep. And Beacon has a style that's like a mix of both. It's like he has a mix of Scotsman and ink spot.
So he's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. He's trying to be like an in-betweener, you could say.
Yeah,
And it looks great.
I'd like to get in between her.
And this is presenting Queen Ulrika, the warrior queen of Seltonia.
Mm-hmm. that center page.
Stands out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did my job right.
That's cool with the blade right
And
up to her
that's
face.
and that's when she decides, you want to disrespect me and dishonor the tradition? Well, it's not a one-on-one anymore. It's a Royal Rumble. So she takes them all on. And this is the sample from Scotsman's story that he's coloring, the Nat and Zed story, where you
Nice.
get to know a bit more Nat on a personal level, and you get to see his relationship with his best friend, the guy you grew up with. Yep. It's like imagine his version of his school buddy, the guy he grew up with. And go up for a sec. Just a little there. You see there where you see the garage?
Mm-hmm.
You see the two Borderland type of distribution machine? Look, you have
Mm-hmm.
Alf leaning on it, drunk, passed out. For
Where I'm
you see their
looking.
you see their garage there with the bikes.
Yeah.
You see the toolkit there, the box right there, above the toolkit. That's Alf leaning on that big box in the back. Passed out for partying too late with Zed.
Eating crunchy kid litter and milk.
That was my way of giving you the wink of where the main inspiration of Zed came from. Came from Alf mixed with Gizmo and Garfield. But the main inspiration was Alf. So it's
That's
like, yeah.
That's funny.
I told you I put him in there. And if you look in the back in the scrapyard, you're gonna see Bender. You see a whole bunch of freaking pop culture references. You see the Futurama ship. You have the taxi, the cab from Fifth Element. You have the 2000 Space Odyssey ship. You have an X-wing. You have the Thundercat battle tank there.
Lobo's bike.
Yep.
Nod to Biz.
Yep. And if you look in the middle, there's a box of heavy metal magazines.
Oh, cool. I could probably use those.
You have the, I don't know if you know Captain Harlock. You have you have his gun sword right there with the gun of Blade Runner. Like that panel there, it's cameo galore. It's Easter egg galore.
Chock full of everything.
Uh-huh. And even the little robot that's there.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you its name, you're gonna get it.
Herbie.
Yep. You're the first one to actually guess it.
Yeah, well, I'm full of useless nerd information. So
when I was designing the little robot to help him construct shit and stuff like that, like the little valet type of robot, I'm like, yeah. And Herbie for, the love bug and the little robot. That's technically what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Instead reading some heavy metal magazine.
It's fun that you saw it. With a Wing to Wolf dragon there too, if you look at it.
Mm.
My first publication.
Yep, right on the back cover.
Yep. Meaning he's going to be coming back. And then that's revealing the final costume and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like how his jacket flaps closes.
Yeah.
Do you notice what it does? If you look at the little motif on the flap, right? Mm-hmm. With his eyebrow, it completes the logo that he has. So you get to know that the logo that he has, it's his face. The monster within. Get it?
Yeah, I got plenty of them.
So one thing about Nat that I don't talk too much, but he's one of those characters that can be very friendly in this, but he is a mercenary. He can also be very fucking cold.
He's gonna get the job done.
Yep. No matter what. He does have a few things that he has he has his limit. He has his codes, right? You could say.
Mm-hmm.
But when you want something dealt with, that's who you call. And as you can see, the size of the monster right there on the second panel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize those three panels now? I showed you the trailer.
Yeah.
There you go. You recognize them.
From the original piece.
Yeah, that was doing a wink, and when I was working on that, because I was thinking of just making a wink at it, and because losing a lot of work kind of breaks your heart. Yeah. Having to redo it again. But doing that page there made me redo it. So you're getting the full Planet 69 story in Tales from the Adverse 2. I'm actually reworking the first story. And
you're getting the full Monty.
Yep. And I'm not, as you can see, I'm not trying to do like, hey, let's do those quick pages. I'm trying to take my time with this one. Because I grew up liking different type of comics and different delivery. As much as I like the idea of having like Marvel Comics back in the days, or Image, trying to give us a copy of a comic every 2-3 months. That looks okay. That looks really good, but compared to somebody that has a year to work on a comic and have time to calculate every freaking panel to make it,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about the independent comic and the CG and all this stuff. It's the fact that we're able to do an in between in a way. I can take my time without having to take too much time.
Yeah. The 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 problem I find with some of the indie stuff, uh, you know, not even dressing the price and the $10 or $15, shipping on everything, um, is some people seem in too much of a rush and want to cut corners, and a lot of their art is. I've seen a lot of subpar art. I mean, I can't draw, but
But I think it goes with the. I know there's been a lot of discussion. There's people trying to say like, "Oh, you have go with a floppy. You have to try not to go low too high with the price." But like we discussed before, right? We're trying to offer you 3 to 4 floppies in one, so it comes up to the same price, right? 20,
mm-hmm,
$25, $5 a pop, right? But there's also been the conversation of people are like trying to get the book done before you launch your campaign, right? Like
mm-hmm.
it can sound good in a way. Like I'm not saying don't do it. If you can, you can. But there's a price to pay to that. It's like saying there's a difference between American comics from back in the days and European comics, like I just said, right? When some less budget to produce something, it's like a movie. The less you have budget, you know, not going to be as shiny.
Well, I know Roland over at Silverline does that. He won't launch
Hmm.
a campaign till the book's complete.
But what happens if you paid 5,000 investment, but if you made 100,000, you could have made it better.
Uh,
But I'm just throwing
yeah,
the.
but what he does, because he's got so many titles
Hmm.
uh, for his company and stuff that he's brought back that he used to do in the '90s,
Hmm.
that he puts in, and he whatever profit is made
Hmm.
after everybody's paid goes right back and
Into the
pays
next
for
book.
and goes into the next book for payment, for the writer and the
Hmm.
artist and the inker and the
But
letterer and blah blah blah.
my point was to prove that it's like in indie comics, right? At this
Mm-hmm.
moment right now, you have three different type of clientels. You have the clients that are YouTubers and buy the stuff of their fans. You have actual comic book fans, and you have people that are crowdfunders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crowdfunders like to see the project grow as they like to see the production behind it and stuff like that. You have the comic book fan that would like to have the comic faster and pretty much ready to ship, right? And you have the YouTuber who just doesn't give a fuck. He's just gonna throw money at the YouTuber because he likes him.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep all of them in mind, especially if you want to grow. Like it's one of the things that I've noticed in crowdfunding when you see backers celebrating the fact that they unlock stuff. I'm like, huh, I may not be like 100% behind. Like, I don't really want that fucking pin, but it's fun to see a whole bunch of supporters promoting a book and celebrating the fact that they unlock a pin.
Yeah.
There's different things. You just keep everything in mind. I'm not saying I've always tell people there's no one way. There's multiple ways. Find your way. Just don't ignore the other ones trying to pimp your stuff up. Like be in the book tiers. You can't have that if your book's already ready. A lot of people like to be in the books.
Yeah. Is that Bisley?
Hmm. And those are the 6 stickers of 6 a.m. Which now the three boys are unlocked, and we're looking to unlock the 3 girls now.
Nice.
And this is the interior back cover colored by Inkspot. Yeah, interior back cover showing Nat's back, and that's a wink at Lobo's back. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Fully admit it.
And this print slash cover, that's
It,
badass though.
it is. Freaking love it.
You look at him and you can hear the bullets tearing through the flesh.
It's his dude. It's the best work I've ever seen him do. I love it. It's what you would see on Heavy Metal magazine back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
These are the sample of the old stuff, the old colors and old lettering. It's all getting redone. Lettering and colors. Everything's getting remastered except the line work. So that's why when I was saying that we're taking a bit more time, because I decided when we passed the 100 backers that I'm like, you know what, I want to upgrade the book. Yeah, we're remastering everything, and that's
So,
my stretch goal line. Yeah.
yep. What have you hit on these?
Right now we hit the 5K one. We're getting close to the 7K, the 7,500 there.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be at 10K because I want that Bisley print, to be honest. But I also want that swimsuit special at 15K.
Mm-hmm.
And at 15, after that, the swimsuit special was just growing with more guest artists. And I was adding more prints with the thing is with the backer, every 100 backer I was adding a new print.
Mm.
Yeah. The reason why there's two prints now with the book is because when I announced the delay for the print, because I was gonna do the remastering of the colors and stuff like that we were changing the date of delivery, I offered that free print of the painting. That was my way of saying, hey, I'm giving you a bigger, better book. It's not 64 anymore, it's 80 page, and everything's remastered. And here's a print to say, sorry, I changed the plan, but you won't be disappointed.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. And if you go sub to Scotsman's channel, sometimes he streams and he colors it. He colors some pages live.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. I went and followed him on the Twitterverse and YouTube-ish.
Yeah, and for the next campaign or maybe the next one, I'm not decided yet. I don't want to make it official, but there's big chances you might have a bust or a statue coming with the next campaign. Or
That'd be cool.
yep. And I'm trying to make them not more than 6 inch. So like there'll be a statue, but the size that the height of a pop, like like this Lobo
Mm-hmm.
thing here, something like this.
Cool.
And one of my ideas is to be able to imagine if I can send it to you that you just have to assemble the arms, the head, and the base. Put the
Yeah, and they just all snap in.
Mm-hmm. See what I mean? Getting old, but that gray is just here.
Yeah, mine's everywhere. I shaved my head to look younger. Went to the barber shop one time and they shaved my head because I was in the wheelchair. They raised all their prices, and I was like, you're just taking clippers and shaving my head down, and maybe do like a wet towel shave or something. But I'm like, that's a little high.
I don't know, me.
And they were like, oh, hold on, he gets the senior discount. And I looked at my friends over with me, and I'm just like,
I don't know. I like
I'll
the
take
gray.
it.
I like the gray. I don't know. Maybe because I'm lucky because I have the Doctor Strange thing going on here, the two little stripes here, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like the gray.
Yeah.
I'd rather go gray than go bald.
Well, I want a little bit of each. So I'm always pulling a little from column A, a little from column B. But yeah, definitely go check out and back the Natverse. All the information is in the show notes, up above or down below. It's also further up in the chat.
And trust me, you get the bang for your buck. Trust me. And right now is I'm able because me and Beacon are partners, right? We help each other fulfill. So I can the US, it's only $15 shipping. I ship they leave my house, they get signed, then they get shipped to Beacon and he emails them to you. So we were able to reduce the shipping from 25 to 15.
That's a big one.
Yep, especially when you know how much shipping can get between Canada and the US.
Yeah, like 25, $30 a book,
Mm-hmm.
like a 22-page floppy. I'm like, oh, I bought from a guy that used to do auctions up in Canada, and I'm like, dude, I didn't spend that much money. Why is my he goes, oh, shipping from Canada to the US is like, $20 a book. I go, well, I'm not paying like 200% more than what the book's worth to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, not too long after he quit doing them because he just got sick of it, moved on to something else. All right. Well, I want to thank Sim for coming and hanging out with us and talking the Nat verse and a little bit of everything else. And there you are. And you can catch him Sunday around the 3 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time at CromCon.
Yep, and you can find me on the now it's rebranded Sugar Chris channel every Monday and Friday in the morning, evening on Thursday around 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can find me on my channel. Usually, sometimes I do streams on Sunday. Sometimes I skip because I stream everywhere. So sometimes I take the day off. But Sunday around 6:15, 7:15 p.m. we do the Doodle and Chill.
And they can follow you where?
Any social media. Mine's Facebook, anything under Simon Pothier, the Artist Sim, or Ink Slayer. And yeah, pretty much. And give me a follow on the, what is it again? Indiegogo.
Yeah, follow the project so you get
Mhm.
updated on any updates and know what's going on.
Yep.
Get you on the mailing list so after you get this one, so for the next issue and the issue after that and the book after that and the other title after
And
that.
another thing I'd like to mention that I'm putting together, it's something called, I'm calling it Red Label Indie Comic, Indie Comic, what do they call it again? Showcase, Indie Comic Showcase, right? And the idea is I'm trying to do a preview digital comic, like book, with a whole bunch of sample from a whole bunch of creators that have campaigns. My idea is to try and get it everywhere where digital comics are, right? For almost nothing. So people can just pay 99 cents or something and have a huge book with a whole bunch of sample going. You like this? You like this? Find this on Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
Yeah, have all all
Mm-hmm.
the links there and yeah,
Yep.
like a big advert.
Yeah, technically it's reaching out. It's like giving a little sample for free to everybody to go, hey, we exist here. If you find this interesting, come check us out.
Yeah, I dig that idea for sure.
Mm-hmm. Russ is going to be in there. We're all putting a few samples in there, and we're going to spread it around.
Very cool.
Hey,
Well,
that's how comics used to get around, right? People used to have previews and samples.
mm-hmm. And then speculators decided certain previews are worth like a ridiculous amount of money.
Yep.
And I'm just like shaking my head at it. But all right, till next time, keep it here. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel today and everybody that popped in.
Don't forget to like, sub, and share.
Exactly.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah. That's right. I tried to tell her. She didn't listen.
Mine did.
Oh. Okay. Well, I officially hate you for the rest of the day now.
Hey, look. My wife back then, my girlfriend, she was bisexual. I am not, and I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing is caring.
Katie. So until next time, little peace, love, and read some comic books. Don't forget this weekend is CromCon over in the comic book related madness. So go check that out, and I'm sure a bunch of us are all sharing out the links for
Yep.
CromCon, and definitely come by and see what all these guys have up for grabs.
And you don't want to miss Simply Sugar and Pops. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, and if my daughter doesn't come this weekend, I'm gonna have to buy one of those little mini kegs of Guinness, because
You know what you should do. You go, sweetie. From 8 to 10, I got a TV show that I gotta watch. Go watch yours.
she'll just go to a room with her iPad that never leaves her side and just stuff and fall asleep or whatever. But all right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, the audio version of this will be available on ageofradio.org. Just search down for Creators Outlet. I think we're still in the new show tabs. Just look for the this background piece on the screen, and you can click there. And I have from episodes 40 on up. This is episode 106. Also, if you're listening to this on Age of Radio, you can head over to Creators Outlet on YouTube and watch the visuals. And please subscribe, like, and share, and all that good stuff. Until next time, like I said, peace, love.